Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is my project today. So I'm using packaging with Amazon boxes and whatever comes in them to make this journal. Now this kind of box, the big part are going to be used as big journals and the flaps are going to be used as smaller journals. Now, so far I've made, I think, maybe 7, and in total I will be making 9. Now, as you just saw, the packaging detail on that specific card box was actually very inspiring. Now, this is what was left, and I'm going to use the big parts to make more journals. Now this one was going, not was, but will be going to be a sort of mini lab book. And I'm going to retrace whatever markings I have done already. Squaring the paper is actually very difficult for me. Making things straight is always a challenge. Now I'm doing this specifically because I'm having a lot of boxes in my craft room and I'm having a lot of difficulty letting go of them. And right now, as you probably heard me earlier, the thing is, one box will actually make me 9 projects. So I'm kind of figuring out that I might not need so many of the boxes that I have to make journals. Surprising, right? So right now you see me scoring the cardboard, so I can actually make the lab book. And again, doing straight things is not exactly my forte, so I'm going to have to retrace the scoring so I can actually make it work. And this is not exactly for specific papers. What I mean by that is that I'm going to use line dot arrow freebies from this summer. I had printed a lot of them and not used them. So I'm trying to not only use my cardboard box, but also the freebies that I printed on copy paper, which is not exactly the best thing to do since it's very thin. Now this paper has already has glue on it, but it has to be activated with water. In the beginning of my journey in junk journal, I was trying to find the perfect craft paper to exactly do that, covering the spine so they won't break too much. And I ended up buying this roll, which is not bad. It's actually very good. It's just that you need to wet the paper like you see me doing there to actually activate it. So it's like tapestry that you put on the wall. It's a very thick and gluey glue once it's wetted. It doesn't take that much to dry. You just need to wipe it off a little bit and then it dries almost instantly. And as you can see, the stripe that you see on the paper is actually reinforcement. So it will be very sturdy for my spines, opening and closing. And as you probably can hear, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my voice as usual. Don't know what it is. Every time I speak in the microphone, it always turns out to be kind of weird sounding. So this is the papers that I printed. There's a lot of them, and they're very pretty. Now, if you're interested into having them, you have to be a member of the Facebook group of Line.arrow. And in that Facebook group, you always have challenges. But most of the months, you always have challenges with the freebies. And of course, you can buy the full digi-kits that Line.arrow offers on rebates, by the way, when the challenges are ongoing. So I'm going to use them as much as I can, and I'm going to try to make the least possible retails of papers that I can, because I don't want to make more scraps. Now I'm making the corners, and I'm leaving a bit of a bigger gap at the corner because the cardboard is a little bit more thicker. And if I don't want to see the corner be opened and brown, then I have to give it a little bit more space on the corners. And I'm using Aleene's glue, which this bottle is a new, well, it was a new one, and it's very thick glue, so it's very hard to get it out. Gives the end a little bit of a workout. But it glues very fast since it's not very watery. It's cheap and it's efficient, so I like it. So I'm picking more pages for the inside, and I'm trying to make it as fitting as possible. Should have done my nails too. But you know, when you start crafting and you want to get things going, taking care of your nails is not exactly a priority. I really like doing cutting the papers with the ruler. It gives it a worn out effect. And of course, as I said, since these journals are not exactly made for specific paper size, I'm actually making sure that the papers that I choose make them the size that I need for this journal, which will actually make more scraps, but the scraps I will be able to use in other projects, since I'm having 9 possible journals from that box. I will be able to use the scrap papers as collage papers and make probably one journal as a collage journal. This is very pretty. So this, what I'm holding right now, was a collage paper that I did early on when I started junk journaling. And those were just strips of paper that I had that I glued on another paper. and now I'm going to use them for the cover of the signature. So these will be the main pages of the signatures. I'm not using a lot of coffee dyed paper in this one, since I'm really trying to use up what I've printed and the things that I have already done. And so far it's working out kind of well. So I'm going to cut down this cover signature for the right height. And of course, when you're using this kind of knife, you have to be careful. Keep your fingers away and make sure your blade is really cutting well. So just take off the first one if it's not exactly cutting properly. I'm using masking tape to enforce the fold. And I will be making 2 signatures in this. There won't be big signatures because I'm going to simply use again more of the paper from the freebies, and I'm going to bag them with this packaging paper. Now this kind of brown paper you actually get when you buy stuff from Amazon usually. And I'm having a lot of those, and this one is kind of thin, kind of like what you would get in your shoebox, but it's going to work out very well for what I'm doing right now. It does give it a thickness, and the glue also give it some more sturdiness. So it's not just copy paper. My glue is always the same type, so it's a regular PVA glue that I mix with a bit of water. So maybe 1 part water for 2 part of PVA glue. It just makes it easier. Unless your glue is very watery, this makes it a lot easier to spread around. And it kind of mimics the what's it called already? The Mod Podge. And although this brush is very disgusting, it's my favorite one. It's rusted, it's all kinds of things, and I really like it. Now for the ephemera, so these were ephemera that was the pockets and the file folders and all of the things were also printed on copy paper, so they're very flimsy. So I'm using a paper bag. So this is a grocery paper bag from IGA here in Quebec. It's a store, grocery store line. And I'm using that paper because it's very thick and it's going to give the pockets and the ephemeras that I'm going to use for this project a bit more sturdiness. So again, I'm gluing with the Mod Podge alike that I put in the Mod Podge jar because it's wide and sorry about that, because it's wide open and I can actually put my brush in it very easily. So I will cut this with a bit of a brown paper bag surrounding because I like it, and it will actually fit the rustic look of my journal. I also use some triple thick to make these little details pop up. So those flowers were a bit blah, and with the trickle tip it actually made them more vibrant. Now this was a non-stop paper craft freebie from actually the challenges from line.arrow. It's an envelope and there are little bags in it. Not bags, but tags. And this is a memory keeper, small scoring board. And when I bought it, that's funny because when I bought it, I thought it was a good deal, that it was almost, what, $15 maybe for this. And I thought it was the big size. Yeah, when you're beginning, this is what happens most of the times. You end up with too good of a deal, and you actually get smaller things. But it's nice. It's actually very practical. So those are the little page that goes inside this small envelope. What's good about the thickness of this glue is that you can actually make very small lines and it will actually glue very well. Now these are my favorite box of granola bars because the inside looks like parchment. So the outside not so much, but the inside looks like parchment, and I really love this. See, parchment. Now for the cover, this picture is actually from a Tracy Fox challenge, and it was also a freebie. And since I had it in my stash, I thought that it would go very well on the front of this book journal. And it actually did. The frame that you see was actually from one of the freebies of line.arrow. And I just put the triple thick on it so it would look shiny. And the acetate is also from an envelope of, I think it was stamps. It's nothing that special. I didn't buy this. It came with some stamps. So I'm going to use it to cover the portrait, protect it. So all of this project is actually on the fly creation. So I didn't plan anything special. I'm just really looking around what I have around me as far as scraps, and believe me, there's a lot of things. And so this is why I'm trying to use everything that's around me. I know I've said this before, but right now I'm being overwhelmed by what's around me. So I'm really trying to look inside the envelopes that I put stuff in and actually use them instead of starting new project with new stuff. So this was actually a very big envelope, and I decided to make a folding sides so it would accommodate a bigger piece in the front and the back of the cover. Now when I'm gluing this, the bottom part I'm only gluing between the accordion flaps, so the accordion can actually move. And since it's been a while also that I use my inking pads, I'm always adding a bit of water to reactivate it. Now as you can see, my little envelopes that I had backed with the grocery bag, I left a little bit of surrounding of it, and it has made a big difference. So now I can glue them on the inside of the cover of the signature. And I'm trying not to make them too flat, so just squeezing them a little bit so they can have some space, so when you put things in it's not so tight. I did some stamping, and as you can see, the inside is of the paper packaging. Now I'm using some clear gesso. So the clear gesso that the DIY, the home version, is 2 part water, cool water, 4 part of PVA glue, and 1 part of cornstarch. So when I made my recipe, I actually mixed the water and the cornstarch together, then I added the PVA glue. And honestly, I'm kind of wondering what's the point of adding the cornstarch since water and PVA glue would have done the same thing. I might try to add more cornstarch so it would have some more tooth to it. Maybe less PVA glue. But it actually did work to seal the paper, and when I will be making some tests at the end of this video, you will see the difference that it makes. It did a bit blur the stamping that I'd done, but that's because it's a wet medium and my ink is water activated. Now I did sew around the covers of the signatures, and this is the file folder add-on. Now I was wondering how I was going to make this work, because I wanted to put it between both signatures, but I wanted to also make it uh, so that whatever you put in it wasn't going to fall off. So that's why I have the ribbon, the blue ribbon over there. I'm also using those popsicle sticks, so the gluing will be a bit more efficient with only 2 or 3 clips. Now for the binding, I want the signatures to be removable, so I did the mark on top of both signature, and I'm going to poke holes, and using a thread that is wax sealed. Now this is nothing new, but at least when you use the papers that's inside for drawing or making a small art journal of it, because that's why I put gesso also on the inside papers. You will be able to replace them if you want. So from the outside, you're only gonna see the paper, the sewing on both ends. And I'm going to put the thread back in that hole so I can make a good bow of it. So whenever you want to replace your signature, you only need to undo the bow, and it will be able to slack the thread and make it easier for you to put back a signature. I didn't want to use an elastic because for some reason right now the elastics that kind of last through time are electric blue, electric pink, and some other electric thing that doesn't match with this kind of project. The black elastic that I had actually falls apart after not even a year. Now I'm going to glue the file add-on in between those two signatures. And it was also the perfect size for this project, so I didn't have to cut anything from the length of it. I did glue the ribbon on the back, and it will attach as a bow. So when you want to open it, you just undo the bow and look through what's in the file. It's coming great. I like it. So now I have all my papers gessoed and dried. So not so bad. There's a bit of glitter in it, I don't know why. There's no glitter on my brush and no glitter in my water or my gesso, so this is a bit weird. So each signature will have 3 of those pages, which makes 6 in total for each signature, 12 in total for the entire book. And the idea is that the inside of those paper will be you will be able to draw things in it, and it won't go through the design papers. This journal is not going to be a very embellished one, except for the pockets and things like that, and a few tags. It's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to use the package and to make it a useful thing that you can actually continue adding on and drawing inside. Well, at least that's what I'm thinking about when I'm doing it. Now, as ephemera goes, I found a few not for pockets, but a few little ephemera, and I also find some vellum, of course, and added the ribbon on it, the lace ribbon on it, to make the upper tags, the tabs of the tags. That's a mouthful. No.1, but still. So it's going to be very minimal, since this little book is not about ephemera and making it so full of things that you can't actually find a place to put your own stuff in. I also finished the cover with some water-based varnish, so that when you actually handle it, it won't be damaged. And I was surprised because I didn't use that much of the varnish before, and I'm almost at maybe 1/4 of it left. So water base actually evaporated. This is a kind of a way to tell you that if you have stuff, use it, because otherwise it just disappears on you or it goes bad on you. So whatever you have, use it. Whatever you buy, use it. I'm kind of learning this, and I've been doing this for what? I've been actually an obsession thing about junk journaling and eclectic journaling and all of that stuff for almost 4 years, and I'm still learning that you have to use your stuff. Always going after the shiny thing is not the way to go. So I'm going to put this tab in front to give it the identification tab, I guess. So if you want to put something like, say, the year or the name of somebody or anything, you can actually write it on the vellum. There was also, as you can see on this is the envelope. I made a test for the jewelry, but the frame on the front cover is what actually bothered me, because there's white parts of it that I didn't take out, and now I'm going to put black jewelry bits on them all. And I think I actually really like it. The tool, the wood tool I was holding is only to make sure that the glue is only as small as the jewelry, because it's very small little pieces. And I'm using Aleene's jewelry glue. Aleene's, it's called Jewel It Embellishing Glue. Because most of the times when you don't have this kind of little tools, then you put too much glue and it kind of seeps around, and I don't like that. And even though I had put some triple thick on that frame, it actually glued very well. So no need of Fabri-Tac kind of glue for this one. I actually have a tool to actually pick the jewelry pieces, But guess what? I wasn't able to find it in my craft room. I know I have it because I bought it, but where is it? That's another that's another issue. I was actually very surprised to see that one box was actually giving me 9 covers for project. In my mind, it was like I could maybe do 2 or 3 covers, but yeah, this is how it is. Now the spine, I actually put this blue ribbon, and this is my little tag for this one. So it's very just discreet, and it's hidden under the ribbon, the lace ribbon. This is kind of what it looks like. And I've also left more ribbons, so if you want to embellish, it will be there. Now the vellum envelope came about, so I was able to put more of the jewel that you see on the side inside of it. It is pretty, but it's also in order to give you the more jewelry pieces to add on to the journal if you want. This is the back of the Memory Keeper small scoreboard. Which is kind of useful, of course. It's limited in the size of the pocket envelopes you can make, but it's actually very useful too. And something I rarely use, but thought that it would be nice for this project is the embossing little clip arts there is on the board. Since I had put some stamping of butterflies inside the journals, I noticed that there was a butterfly on the embossing part of the board. And so I actually did one. Also had to make sure that I was putting it right side up. So also for vellum, double-sided tapes is always better since it's not water based and it doesn't make the vellum ripple. So do you think this is the kind of project you'd like to do with your cardboard box? Now I'm actually embossing the butterfly. I'm trying this because honestly I have to do something with the box. It's either that I'm using them or putting them in the recycling bin. And for some reason, every time I want to put them in the recycling bin, I'm thinking, yes, but maybe I will be needing this one for something, and this one is thin and sturdy, but this one is thick and not so sturdy. Yeah, I'm pretty much thinking I'll be a hoarder if I don't check myself regularly. So this is the pieces I'm going to put in the envelope, in the vellum envelope. And the next thing to check for is to make sure that the envelope, the size of the envelope you're making would actually fit. So it fitted in the file folding part, luckily. Now this is a test that I'm making for the clear gesso. This is watercolor from what it's called, Japanese color, shadow black. So the clear gesso actually acts as a sealant, and it's working well as a sealant. As you can see, the part where there's no gesso, it's actually kind of sitting on it, while the part that there's no gesso is actually sinking inside the paper. I'm also testing some gel pens and ink pens. The white really showed up as far in the clear gesso part. It's more vibrant. And on the back, the black ink actually did not go through the paper where there was gesso. So happy to see you for the next video, and this was the end, of course. So see you later. Bye.